the parable of the sower is a key that unlocks the other parables. And the central part of the parable, the part that he wants you to understand, is the very next verse. He tells you in the next verse what it is that we're supposed to understand. And he says, okay, now listen, you don't understand this parable? How is it then you're going to understand all the parables? Now listen, have I got your attention? Now this is what the core central thing of this parable is, and that is the sower sows the word. And I'm sure that John and James and probably Nathaniel went, oh, now that makes a lot of sense right there, because what they did is they put together, they substituted the word into what Jesus had just taught on the 4 different types of ground. Oh, yeah. So the seed that you were talking about is actually the Word of God being sown, and it's in different types of soil. And then they started asking questions. Well, what makes the soil stony? What makes it hard? If it's the Word, then in a person's heart, in a human heart, then what makes the soil different in each one of these? Well, the soil is prepared. See, this is really easy, because in the parable and in other places that we find in our Bible, the Word of God prepares the soil. The Word of God is the seed that goes into the soil, and the Word also waters the soil. So, let me help you with something. The Word is really important. People tickle me. Y'all are one of those word churches, aren't you? Yes, we certainly are. And the reason that we are is because Jesus thought that it was really important. And if Jesus thought it was really important, then if we're really smart, and I can tell by looking at you this morning, we got a smart bunch here this morning. That since you're so smart, then you understand the Word is really important. So your association, your feeding yourself on the Word, putting the Word on the inside, not only prepares the soil, not only does it sow the seed, it also waters it. So that's where you're going to wind up getting your harvest from. So he uses an example. Now I want you to look with me here on down in Mark chapter 4 and verse 31. Remember, let me see if I can find it here very quickly. In verse 15, he says, and these are the ones sown by the wayside where the word is sown. When they hear it, Satan comes immediately and takes that word which was sown in their heart. Now in Matthew chapter 13, which we usually go over there, it words it a little different. It says, hearing the word and understanding it not, the wicked one comes and steals the word. That is one of the reasons it is very important that you are around a minister that operates in the gift of a teacher. In order for us to grow in the things of God, we have to be around a teacher, because this is what a teacher does. A teacher explains things so that you understand it. And if you understand it, then you can use it. And so according to Jesus, which I would consider him an authority on this subject, in Matthew's gospel, hearing the word and understanding it not, the devil comes and steals the word. So if you don't understand something in a sermon, then it's very easy for the enemy to come and take the seed of that word that was sown. Because remember, that seed contains within itself the power to cause it to come to pass. Because he's using the illustration. Isn't that true with any seed? When you sow a mustard seed, you don't have to add a lot of other seeds and a lot of other chemicals and a lot of other things to that seed. The seed already contains within it everything that it needs to grow into a mustard seed. Is that right? The Word of God is the same way. Every word of God contains within itself the power to cause it to come to pass. When you sow a seed into the ground, you don't go out there at night and hear that seed grunting and straining trying to grow. Oh, I got to grow, I got to. You don't hear that. It's got everything in it that's necessary. Its seed DNA is made up to produce what it's. You don't sow a mustard seed and an elephant pop out. Every seed produces after its own kind. So you sow that seed. It's okay. The word is the same way. When you sow the word, you don't have to grunt and strain and sweat and worry over whether that seed is going to come to pass. Because in sowing the word, in sowing the seed of the word, within it, it contains everything necessary to cause it to come to pass.